questions.
Yeah, well, Happy New Year to everybody, and excited for what's in front of 2025 for us. And, just we needed to get back home. That was a long break for Coach Kellogg for sure after that debacle of a fourth quarter at Colorado. But I really liked us when we came back. I thought we had the right mindset. I thought these were some of our best practices leading up to. So I wasn't necessarily completely shocked with the start because I thought we were really prepared. We were dialed in. I thought we had a different look about us. I think the first half we played as well as we have the entire season. Obviously disappointed with the second half. I think there's two ways to look at it, one of which is you get a lead that big. You don't have to be great in the second half, or if you want to be elite, you probably need to put 40 minutes together, and I kind of tend to look at it that way. And we didn't, and we didn't play very well. We relaxed on defense. I thought we lost our edge completely on that end. And again, if we want to be elite, we can't do that, and we're gonna have to put 40 minutes together. We have not done that in these types of games or against the quality of competition yet this year. So we'll continue to work through that. I thought Quinterly was fantastic. She looked different when she's come back. She looked great in practice. I think she's got her mind cleared, and maybe the break was really good for JJ. But if you had come watch practice the last few days, you would have easily been able to tell who our best player was and most talented offensive player for sure. So really happy for her to get going. That was a phenomenal first half from her standpoint. And Shaw got going too early, and Jordan kind of did what Jordan does. We didn't get too many others involved, so we got to kind of figure that one out too. But tonight it didn't necessarily require that, but we're going to need more than those three to score it in bunches for us. So, yeah, I thought we did a pretty good job on Gusters. Peterson got a bunch of points there kind of late when it didn't matter, but for the most part, we needed to kind of key in on those two, and I thought we did a great job defensively on those two. So, 20-plus wins in league. We'll take them. We'll move on. Maybe getting a little rhythm and a flow now that we play essentially Wednesdays, Saturdays, or close to that, and see if we can't keep pressing forward.
Coach, you mentioned the fourth quarter against Colorado and then the second half not as sharp as you mentioned today. Is there a commonality in the second halves here?
No, I think two completely different circumstances. I think, obviously, that one was a close one. We had played well for 30 minutes and just essentially fell apart on both ends down there. But that was a close game. This one, again, naturally, some people might naturally try to relax. But, again, we want to dismiss that mindset and not allow that to happen, but it certainly looked like we did. But putting 40 minutes together is the issue. We do have to learn how to play for 40 minutes, but two completely different situations, I thought, but similar theme.
Coach, JJ took that kind of blow to the head there at the end. Everything?
It sounds like she's okay. Yep.
JJ has 20-plus points in each of the last three against UCF. What makes it such a good matchup for her?
Yeah, great question. We had talked about that. I think we even mentioned it to her coming into it about how well she played a year ago against them. I don't know, maybe something they do defensively. I mean, they were changing their defenses seemed like all the time tonight, going from the man to the zone. And, I just think she's confident when she plays them for whatever reason. But she prepared great is why I thought she played really well today. I just thought her mind these last few days has been in a different place than I'd seen this year. It looked much more like JJ of the past. So I just thought she had clear mind today and just let the game come to her and made plays.
Would you say that's the biggest battle she faces, the mental side?
Well, I don't know if that's always the case, but I think for a lot of kids it is. It's themselves. It's who's going to limit J.J. Quinterly, probably J.J. more than anybody else, or Coach Kellogg not getting her the ball and being a dummy or something, along those ways. But it shouldn't be a kid that's as talented as that. It's, if J.J. will play freely, which is what we want, then she's certainly dynamic.
What do you think was the reasoning for the new attitude with JJ, I guess? Or
yeah, I'm not really sure. I think there was a lot on her mind early, some off the court, some on the court, some, probably her future and what basketball might look like down the road, and just to stay in the present, I think. And if she'll stay in the present, she's pretty talented. So, there's a lot that these kids go through that we don't all know about, and I'm not saying she did necessarily, but I think there was a lot, and she's fine. She's in a really good spot right now, and that's all that we would ask. And there's lots of basketball in front of us.
More than doubled your turnover count in the second half from the first. So was that just kind of being lackadaisical, or was it more of a defensive effort by UCF?
It's just on I think we had 11 right in the fourth quarter, if I'm not mistaken. How many do we have in the fourth quarter?
Fourth quarter was 12.
12. So 12 of the 23 came in the fourth quarter, and rotations. And, I mean, Zaya didn't play great when she was in, but she's not a point guard. I'm just trying to get them minutes, and so I'm playing her at the point and kids in different positions. And they're playing a funky 1-3-1, which we don't see a lot. We had seen it through the game. So we should be better than that. I don't want to make excuses because there shouldn't be any. We should be better. But when most of them come late in that type of game with kids playing all over the place, it's kind of one that I'll probably let it slide a little bit.
Mark, when you get 4 3-pointers from Sydney, when she gets off to a good start early in the first half, how different can she be throughout the course of the game?
Yeah, I mean, it just opens up so much. But I just thought our ball movement was fantastic early, and the ball found her. And if we'll move the ball, and that was something we'd really talked about over the break, was I think at Colorado we had 8 assists. And we weren't moving the ball, and it was sticking, and we weren't getting her the right looks. And, to Sid's credit, she's got to be able to make shots. Probably got a little reliant on the three because she got the hot start, so I wanted her to kind of drive them once she started to miss. But, yeah, I mean, she's just a fantastic offensive player who plays with a ton of confidence, and we have to continue to find her.
You guys opened up tonight recognizing Jordan Harrison's accomplishment at 1,000 points. What's it been like to coach her through the last almost 3 years it's been?
Yeah, no, fantastic. I've seen every one of those 1,000 points. So, we've been through it and, saw her before as a high school kid, and just to see the growth and maturation for her. And, I've said this a couple times. I think she's now pretty much in control of the offense, and this is where you can turn it over to a kid who you trust and believe in. And, yeah, she's the leader. She's the voice. She's the head of the snake. She makes us go. So really proud of her. She really came in as not really a scoring point guard, if I was being honest. In high school, I mean, she scored it and had one crazy game, but I think she would tell you she was probably pass first most of the time. And when we got to SFA, we needed her to score, asked her to score. She did not start out scoring it very well or shooting it very well in her first few games as a freshman, and then kind of started to tear it up and figure it out. Now she's a complete two-way player.
Coach, if you don't mind, ask you sort of an unrelated kind of, obviously with what the men's team did yesterday, I know over the course of your year, you probably have had some really bad travel days, experiences and things. Obviously what they went through with the plane and the getting in late and the hotel having no power, I'm sure you've had similar kind of stories. To overcome that and still pick up a win, what does that take? What did Darren have to go through to get that?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously a ton. I mean, I think, we've all been through it in some capacity. And first off, congrats. I probably should have started with that. Obviously, that was a huge, big-time win in a crazy place. We were in practice for most of it, but our managers were over there late, huddled up, giving us the kind of the play-by-play to see what they were going to do. But, yeah, really proud for them and happy for them. I mean, it takes a ton. I think you can do extraordinary things when you all rally around each other. You just have to kind of take the us against the world approach, in places like that. And, from a basketball standpoint, I actually went back and watched a little bit of it, and I thought the game plan was absolutely spot on. I thought Darren coached his ass off and just, kind of willed that team a little bit, and they guard and they're tough, and those are the things that obviously he wants his team to be about. I want to be about. I think that's when we talk about West Virginia, those are the things that are really, really important to this state. But yeah, it takes a lot. I think he had like a no excuses shirt on, which was, probably what you needed. I always say the great ones adjust when things like that, happen. Like it happens. I think one year I was in the Elite Eight at the Division II level, and we go to shoot around, and the baskets were like 3 feet pushed, like further back, both of them, and so like our kids take a couple shots, and like this is the day before the Elite Eight, we're playing in the national quarterfinal, and we're like, Coach, this is ridiculous. We go down to the other end. Well, in the middle of our shoot around, they're like, lower the goals, and your clock's going, and the NCAA turn, you're getting ready, and the clock's ticking. I'm like, are we just gonna? Is this what happens? We just have to sit here and wait, and our clock's ticking. And anyway, basically we lost the shoot around in the place, and you learn, and we win and ended up playing for a national championship. So I think we all probably have stories, but what they overcame with that short roster, obviously in that environment, was, man, that's special. So hopefully they can keep keep it rolling, and I hope both of us do. I hope this just becomes an electric place, and both basketball programs over this, this semester just becomes the place to be, and it gets rocking, and man, that would be pretty special.
How much do stories like that get told amongst the basketball coaching, camaraderie?
Yeah, all the time. I mean, that's what we talk about more than, you talk about them because you have the great result, but the fun part to talk about is what you overcame to achieve, and that's what sports teaches you, and that's life, and that's, those are moments, and they'll talk about that, I'm sure, forever. You guys will probably be bringing that one back up at some point, and what they did overcome and all the travel, but there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do about it, and so, yeah, you cancel shoot around, right? I don't know if they did or not, but I don't think they shot. Did they go shoot that day? Does anybody know? I'm not sure. Probably not. You probably sleep in and get extra sleep, and then you walk through and you use it as a motivating, like a rally cry. Oh, we don't need to shoot around. We're going to do this. And you walk through, and here's what we're going to run against them. And y'all know how to do this. And here's the game plan. And you just completely twist it in the most positive experience you can. And like I said, the great ones figure it out, and you adjust. And, man, to their credit, that's big time.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, everybody.